Welcome to Life Fits with the DVD. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. I got a haircut. If you can't tell, I cut my own hair, actually. That's what I do because it's just not really growing much anymore. So, just keeping it nice and tight and short, and we'll just go with that from now on. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about. Um, readying readying your body for the world. And what do I mean by that? Well, I want to share a quick story that I don't feel too proud of, and it really isn't my fault or anything like that. However, a few weeks ago I had played soccer, and while I was playing, I was making a play for a ball. The ball was in my possession, but I was starting to lose it, and a defender had come in to try to dispossess me of the ball, and I lunged for it, and I fell, and he fell over me, and he fell hard on his shoulder, and I could tell just by the way that he had gotten up, the way he was holding his arm, that he had broken his clavicle. And sure enough, I even talked to him at halftime, and he's like, "Oh yeah, broke my clavicle. I can tell because he broke it before." So that didn't feel too good because he blamed me for doing it to him, and I took a bit of an exception to that because no foul was even called on the play. He literally just fell and didn't protect himself properly, and he hurt himself. And this is not a competitive league. I mean, well, it is competitive, but it's recreational, right? This is not what we do for a living or anything like that. And in this whole process, he hurt himself, right? And he blamed me, which felt even worse on my part. But once again, that's not my fault, right? He and his body weren't ready for the impact of making a fall, and that's our responsibilities. It's our responsibility to make sure that our body is strong enough to go out into the world and perform in physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. That is on us, right? We need to go through the checks and balances of what it's going to take to actually you know play the game, right? Play the game of life and do it so that we are strong and resilient and sustainable. Um, so, in readying your body for the world, right? The foundation here, the foundation is your physical health, right? Uh, are you strong? Are you ready to go out into the world and withstand it? I talk a lot here about how our health is one of the most important commodities that we have. We don't usually appreciate our health until it's gone, and especially as you age. um, I mean, you can really take for granted when you're younger how easy your body was to recover from things. But as you get older, you appreciate more what your body can do to stay resilient, and how quickly it recovers, or it used to recover, right? So we need to do things. We need to improve our habits, our behaviors, um, and our nutrition, really, so that we are able to continue to be strong and resilient out in the world when our body doesn't necessarily have the same ability to recover the way it did. So how do you do this, right? I mean, what are the benefits of this, right? Well, the benefit is that you're not hurt, right? That other parts of your life don't go down and suffer because, like in this situation I just shared, the guy broke his clavicle. Now I don't even know what he does for work or whatever, but what is that going to do for his life, his situation? I really don't know. Um, and ultimately, like, it makes me feel bad, but um, I just hope that he has, I guess some form of insurance that his employer can accommodate for, his injury. Typically, I think something like that is like 6 weeks to recover about. But these are big deals. This is a big deal for people. If your health suffers, not just his own livelihood is at risk, but also others that depend on him, and that goes for you as well, right? Unexpected things like this do happen, and if you are not the best judge for your own health and your own strength, right? Um, that's something you need to improve and improve on a daily basis in a way that is going to be sustainable. So, um, assessing your health is, of course, very important. But as far as nutrition, right? What can we do here? What can we do to improve our body as we age? Well, first off is how we're eating, what we're eating, when we're eating it, right? Uh, I do intermittent fasting. I've talked about this on this channel a little bit before. Intermittent fasting works for me. It helps my body go into a cycle where it's not uh, digesting, not eating anything, so that it can heal. Because when the body isn't eating, it's not using energy. Your stomach isn't using energy to break down all of the things you're eating and filter it through your digestive system. It actually can take the time to heal and really start to detox from the things that you might not want in there, right? It allows the body to filter out the junk and start to repair the tissues and everything that you know might have been injured in the first place. So I don't know if that sounds a little bit backwards, and I mean, obviously, I'm just speaking off the cuff here. I can do a much more in-depth presentation on this sort of thing, but this is just me, talking about why I do it. So intermittent fasting, I think it's an important thing. It's also good for time management too, because when you're not eating, you're not preparing food. Well, you can work, you can do things. I work out in a fasted state because I don't want my body, using that energy, redirecting it towards digestion when I am actually trying to, physically move. So fasting is a big deal. Working out and sweating is also a big deal. In every workout I try to get at least a little bit of a sweat going, so that can help your body expel out toxins. Um, we live in a toxic world today. We're being bombarded from, just on so many levels, just the plastics, the materials that we're exposed to, um, the radiation, it's in our food. A lot of the food that we eat, one of the most toxic things that we eat are seed oils, and seed oils are in almost everything nowadays. Um, they're in the organic aisle. They're in so many foods. Not only that, the sugars. There's sugar in everything, added sugar, and when we have all of the sugar, it turns into carbohydrates. It inflames the body. Um, it makes it hard for the body to process all of these things, and this ends up turning into fat as well. Not a healthy kind of fat, right? What we want to be eating is saturated fats, contrary to popular belief, right? Saturated fats, things that are high in protein, but natural protein. The biggest thing for our physical health is eating real food that is right off of the tree, right from the ground, right from the 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 animal. So eggs, meat, fruits, and we also have to be careful about pesticides on these fruits. So typically things that are have a skin on them that we can peel are going to be better than something we're just eating raw that we don't know if it's been sprayed or not. There's a lot of pesticides on these things. Even organic isn't necessarily better than non-organic because there's a lot of drift that happens from these pesticides onto other crops. So they might be treating one crop and it ends up going onto the organic crop. But yeah, pesticides, herbicides, we have to try to limit those things. You can treat them with baking soda or white wine vinegar for a few minutes to try to get some of the pesticides off of it, cleaning all the vegetables that way, the same way. These are just great ways to try to minimize these things and to not mess with our hormones as much. Any food that we get, if we're getting organic, that is ideal, right? We don't want animals that are injected with things that we don't know what they're being injected with, whether it be RNA vaccines or hormonal stuff, right, to make them bigger. Because that's what big agriculture does to these animals. And on top of that, feeds them GMO corn and other feed that basically defeats the purpose of of eating meat if that animal is eating all the corn and that stuff that is gonna have a whole lot of carbohydrates in it. So ultimately, we want to be eating clean. We want to try to be drinking the best water that we can. I distill my water just out of an abundance of caution. There's reverse osmosis filters. Supplements are something that some people like to take to try to balance any sort of nutrient deficiencies that we have. I mean, if we're not getting it from the food because we're eating processed food, then move towards the supplements. But that's a whole nother level of really trying to balance everything. The more you can eat natural foods, so milk, eggs, meat, fruit, vegetables, the better off your nutrition is going to be, and more balanced it will be. And put your body to work. Work out, do physical things, get sunlight, make sure you're getting enough sleep. But that's moving into also the mind and the emotional and psychological portion of this. And I think I'll have to do another video on that because this one's getting a bit longer. But the whole point here is we need to be preparing our body for the world. And we also need to prepare our mind and our psyche and our solar plexus, really, our emotional health for the world as well. But these are just some tips to try to help prepare your body, keep it strong. And I know this is very high level right now, but I just wanted to share that story because it's just, you hate to see somebody get hurt and something you're supposed to be having fun with, and then who knows the ramifications for him down the road. So prepare your body, try to get information from your body. Health is very, your health for your body is actually quite simple. There's a lot of bad information out there, and I have spent years just digging through things and testing out what works, what doesn't, and of course, what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you as well. But I know a lot about these pitfalls, right? If you are experiencing things a certain way, what that potential cause could be, because health is simple, but we've complicated it. We've complicated it with all of the poisons and the chemicals and everything else in our environment. And when we're being bombarded on so many sides for, just keeping healthy, it's going to be a natural thing that things, aspects of your health are going to fall through the cracks. So, I hope some of these tips might have helped today. If you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe. Let me know what works for you. Be interesting to hear what is one of the best boons for your own health as well. Oh, detoxing from parasites as well. I can't can't talk about that enough, but that's I'll save that for another day. Yep. Once again, like or subscribe if you enjoyed this, and if you want to hear more, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.